Hello, everybody. I'm David Thomas with Shelbyville Now. I'm here having a conversation with Mr. Warren Wells of Celebration Incorporated. Warren, it's good to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
All right. So you're coming up on your anniversary here. You got your feet under you a little bit. So kind of tell us about what got you here.
Okay.
And then how things have been since you've gotten here.
Yeah. So like you said, been around for a while, born and raised here. Well, I shouldn't say born. I was raised here, moved here when I was about 3 years old. And I always loved this community, but as I got in my high school years, I really wanted to, one of the things I wanted the most was to get away from here and kind of, see something different. And then when you do that for 10 or 11, 12 years, you realize how good home is. And
right.
so
yeah.
I didn't ever think there was really going to be an opportunity for me to come home for a type of position that I wanted. And the celebration was something that intrigued me, and a lot of people reached out to me about applying for it. And so I did, and now here we are.
Well, good. So since you've been here and you've had a chance to get acclimated to what goes on around here, how do you see things moving forward as far as events coming up, new stuff, new ventures that you're trying to do? What about the grounds do you want to? I know it's a lot to cover, but there's a broad question, so run wild now.
Yeah. I think recruiting new events probably needs to be my number one focus for sure. I say that, our number one focus here, the number one thing we are is, we crown the World Grand Champion walking horse, and that will always be our number one thing in supporting the walking horse industry. But to support the walking horse industry, I think we need to really start recruiting other events to help supplement what we have going on here for the walking horse industry. We just had a saddlebred show recently.
Right.
That was here, this third year that they've been here. And if my numbers are right, it is our second biggest event that we have here outside of the celebration, or second to the celebration. And so more events like that, I think it's what we need. That is gasoline, people buying gas, lots of food in our restaurants, our hotels are maxed out. They come to our RV park where I pay hotel motel tax every night that they're staying here. Those are all great things for our economy. What I love about a show like that, I love monster trucks and I love Lone Star Rodeo when it comes. Those are great things. That is us entertaining our community. But what I love about saddlebreds is when someone comes to a monster truck show, most of that money is already here in the community. So they didn't go eat at Legends or they didn't go eat at Bocelli that night. They came here, spent money at my concession stands, and spent money on tickets, which is great. But when the saddlebreds come or an event like that, that is all outside money, tax dollars that weren't going to be spent here already, that's pushed into our economy. And to me, that's what we owe to the local economy.
Yeah, I know when saddlebred folks come in, they move in and they're here.
Yes.
They'll come in on Sunday, Monday, and they're here the whole week, and they're out checking things out.
Yep.
So
this year they were moving in on Easter.
Yeah.
And so I felt bad because the staff had to start working, but it was great to see just so many people hopping around around the grounds. And the great thing about, or one of the things they said they like about coming here is our community is just used to horse shows.
Right.
And so people drive around on a Friday night or Saturday night and go to dinner and they see that there's an event here. They stop in and watch a horse show that they've never seen a saddlebred show before.
Yeah.
And the participants in the show loved it.
Yeah, and they look similar, but they're different. They're so very different the way they trot, and it's just a different look and a different feel for the folks that are used to seeing a walking horse. They'll come in and say, well, "That's not a walking horse."
Right.
It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
And I know there's other breeds that come in too. What else do we have? Don't we have a mule?
So the last year was the American Bluegrass and Mule Festival.
Right.
Marty Gordon put that on, and it was a great event. And it's coming back again this year, and so I'm really excited about that. I think that was Marty's first foray into putting on that event, and it was I had just been hired when I started talking to him, and so I think both of us learned a lot. I think we're going to put on a really good show this year.
Great. So what other types of events now do you have coming up through May, June, and July that the community can enjoy?
Yeah. So this is horse show season. So we are in that right now, and so. We've got several one-night, three-night shows coming up, including the fun show. So the celebration is a show management for 3 shows: fun show, the celebration, and the fall classic. And so this will be our first event that we manage, and it'll be in May, the end of May. So it'll be here in Calisonic Arena coming up. But then, after that, it's several shows. One thing I'm excited about is after this celebration, we have Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association coming here.
Yeah.
This will be the first year that they've come to Shelbyville. They've been in Murfreesboro more than 12 years. I can't remember exactly how long. And this is their Eastern United States Finals. And so it's going to be a big show. My hope is it will surpass Saddlebreds and be our second biggest event, which will be a huge boost to the local economy when they come. I picture it's going to be like Saddlebreds or bigger, with hotels all full, RV parks all full, restaurants, everything.
Now that's an exciting event too.
Yes.
Now that's something that you want to bring the kids to see.
Yes.
So watching these guys shoot on horseback. Now they're not shooting live ammunition. There's what they shoot rock salt out of or pebbles or something.
It's blank with powder in there, and I've heard that it's just powder, and it can pop a balloon from 15 feet. I've also heard that there might be some people say there's rock salt in there. So I think there's two different organizations that kind of do that, and they do it different ways. But when people ask me, like, what exactly is it? I'm like, well, it's like barrel racing, because it's a timed event.
Right.
But they're popping balloons as they ride, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
Great marksmanship and great horsemanship combined.
Yes.
It's an awesome event. So if you're a gun enthusiast, this will be a great show for you to come watch.
Yes.
And when is that, after celebration?
After the celebration, it's week and a half after the celebration. So it's going to be broken up in two types of events. So they're going to come in that first weekend, and they're going to do 2 days of competition, and then they're going to break for 3 or 4 days while more people move in, and then they're going to have 4 days of competition. So they're going to be here over a week. So that's living in our community. So excited about that. The other great thing is they're going to be inside Calisonic and also in Champions Arena. So they're having two competitions at once.
So you got it going on outside and inside. So that's cool. Let's back up now and not talk about things that are happening today, but let's back up and talk about history of the celebration.
Okay.
I know it started in 1939 behind the old high school, and from that point it just grew and exploded. If I'm not mistaken, you're going to have to correct me, but I'm doing this for those folks that don't know the history.
Okay.
The West Grandstand was built in what, 1954, 1955, right around in there,
Maybe,
I believe?
yeah.
So from 1939 to 1954, we went from a 3-day show to a 10-day show and had the West Grandstands built. Mm-hmm. And that was an enormous time of growth for the walking horse industry and the celebration getting off the ground.
Yeah.
And so this is a facility that's been here for a very long time, and it's an established facility and an established event here in the community. And I think if people start looking into the history of it and start looking back at some of the old video and stuff that's available, do you guys have any of that old video?
You know, I don't know. I've seen some of it that you're talking about, and we just found some old tapes, recording of the announcers and things like that.
Yeah.
But actual video, they've got to be stored somewhere, but I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, I've seen them circulating around, but it's just really neat to see how this has just been, the community was so behind it then at that point.
Yeah.
And it just grew. The civic clubs, they were really pushing to get it growing, and we had parades and all that type of stuff. And that fanfare, I wish would come back. And I hope some new folks that have come into town would just step in here and check things out.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. And,
I find that a lot of the growth that we're having, new people moving in, they're embracing our history and embracing the celebration. They want to know what it's all about. They see this big arena here, and I think that's something that's really special about us is we're in the center of town.
Yeah.
You cannot find a facility like this in the center of a town typically.
Yeah.
We're very unique in that way, and people love it.
Yeah, and they love the donuts, man.
Yes.
Where can you go wrong?
Right. I had somebody the other day, they were doing a story on the Fun Show, and they said, so we can get donuts, right? And I said, I wish. But that's only during the celebration. I think they had a record year last year, and I'm horrible with remembering numbers, but I think they had a record year on donuts last year.
Oh, I'm quite sure they did, because I helped out on that.
Do you?
We all do.
So you probably know this story, but I hear that there is a family that comes up from Alabama. They've actually never even been to the celebration, but they come up every year and they buy a ton of donuts. And their plan is they take them back and they eat a box or two then, and they freeze the rest of them. And they open them on like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. They do them on Easter, their dad's birthday or something. And so I think that's one thing that I've loved with taking this job is hearing all of those stories and hearing the people that have been here every celebration since it was created.
Oh, yeah.
Is just amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a great institution for Beaufort County and Shelbyville.
Yes.
It's just a fantastic thing. I've grown up. It's like, okay, this is just a phenomenal place, and you don't realize it when you grow up here and you see it every year. And those people that are coming in need to grasp on and really learn that history and come and be a part of it and be a part of that fanfare, because it's every year it's just like a family reunion.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And it's easy to grow, to get used to it being here and not appreciate it like we should. I mean, I think I've had that in my past too, where I might take a year where I'm like, I don't know if I even go this year. And back when I was in high school or something, and I think you get used to it being here. But if you go to any community in Tennessee and say, I'm going to build a facility like this and we're going to have an event like this, I mean, they'd pay millions for you to do something like that, because they know what it does for the community. And I think we all remember those days when it was a standing room only, and I remember coming one year and like every night it was breaking a record.
Right.
And those were amazing times, and it's different now. But what I try to tell people that are new to here, even people that have lived here, is you still can't believe how many very nice homes are bought just because we are the celebration, just because Shelbyville has the celebration, and how many people come here, pay property tax, help us educate our kids, and all they want to do is be here for this world-class show that we have every year in August. And so it's something a message I try to get out there.
Yeah. Let's change gears just a little bit and talk about your dreams for the celebration, your vision for the celebration. And I'll just toss this question out. If you could wave a magic wand and change anything here on the grounds that you need, what would it be?
I think, I don't know if we have enough time. There's a lot. But
pick one.
Yeah.
Pick one. Your number one priority, what would it be?
One thing I'm really focused on is getting in more shows and diversifying the type of events we have here. Like I said, we have, when it comes to equine events, we have saddlebreds and walking horses and mules. And to really... what I'm finding out about other breeds coming here is breeds have gotten used to having a specialized footing, the dirt in the track for them. And so when I'm recruiting other events, they're kind of saying, you've got walking horse footing, it's a little too tough for us. So the saddlebreds, when they come in, they actually bring in truckload after truckload of mulch or shavings to soften it up. And so I think, if I had a magic wand, footing would be something I would like to change. Our outdoor arena is always going to be the home of the walking horse, and it is going to be pristine walking horse footing. And we even put in about $16,000 last year on the track that hadn't been spent about 10 years to get it up. But the indoor arena, there's a lot of potential here for us to help diversify, what the breeds that we have coming. And so, and I haven't really, this hasn't really been announced yet. The governor hasn't signed the budget, but the legislature passed the budget last week, and there's $150,000 in there for Cowsonic Arena.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we got to thank our Pat Marsh and Senator Reeves for that help. But that will really help jumpstart us on doing some upgrades here. We have a world-class facility, but it has a lot of maintenance that's been deferred that I'm trying to focus on. And I know you said one, but another thing that I would really like, if I could wave a magic wand, would be more lodging kind of on the property.
Right.
I would love to have a hotel on property.
Cool. Yeah.
And even if it could be like an equine themed hotel, I think it would be amazing. But I've got to bring in a lot more shows for that to work, and happy for it to just be a new hotel in town anywhere.
For sure.
We need. I think it's probably a little frustrating for those business owners that own hotels. They get packed up for our events, and then maybe they go bare for a little while.
Right.
So if I can start filling this arena up, week after week, I think we will definitely have that need for more restaurants and more hotels and things.
So a hotel on the grounds
Would be awesome.
and a restaurant sitting right next to it. That would be awesome.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now just going forward down, let's say the next 10 years, where do you see this entire facility as far as 10 years down the road with walking horse industry and these new breeds? Do you see us at a point to where we're getting hunter jumper type stuff. We're getting maybe Arabian and maybe that Morgans and maybe Appaloosas and quarter horse stuff. Do you see all that happening possibly?
Yeah. I'm really hoping that the mounted shooters help us in the quarter horse world. You know, they are that's what they are majority, and they're connected, and so I'm hoping that helps. But I do see it, and I mean, I think, you know, if we're filling up this arena every weekend with these different breeds, the work that I can do on the big arena, the big oval out there for the walking horse shows, I mean, I think they both can grow together, if those things aren't happening, I probably don't need to be here in 10 years. So that's my hope for sure. Is we've got to invest in our property.
Right.
We are at a point now where you know, things are starting to tick up, and hoping that myself and the board, you know, we do a good strategic long-term look at where we need to invest in our property to help draw in more shows and improve the celebration. You know, there are people that have been coming to the celebration their whole lives. Those 10 days are the biggest 10 days of their lives. And I love hearing those stories, and I want to make that better. I want them to walk in and look around that facility and it look like it did when they were kids.
Yeah.
And so I think bringing in other breeds to the Calisonic Arena can help me do that in the celebration arena.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about the future there for 10 years down the road. You see this thing growing. With that comes opportunity for local businesses. Let's just throw this out. There's opportunities for sponsorships.
Yes.
For local businesses. What now is available for, let's say, a restaurant or a hotel, or let's just say a retail business that would want to do something to help and be a sponsor, maybe for a show or for just the entire facility, or what's available?
Yeah, so we have a wide range of sponsorship opportunities, all the way down to ribbon and trophy sponsors that are really easy for very small businesses to do and get their name announced during the celebration, come out and give out an award, all the way up to, you know, major sponsorships up to $25,000 level, where you get advertisement in the big ring and in the Calisonic Arena and things like that. So it goes from $100 all the way up to $25,000. And so I think there's something out there for everyone. And also just supporting the show. You know, what I say to local businesses is, you know, if they're coming in and when they're in town, they're buying gas from you or eating in your restaurant, you know, that night, come watch them perform, because they work all year to be here in the celebration, and come cheer them on in that ring, whether you know about a walking horse or not. Let them know you're glad they chose to come to our town. Yeah,
and they could learn real quick too.
Yes, yes.
Well, Warren, thanks for sitting down and talking to us. Thanks for taking your time. I know your schedule's awfully busy. Guys, thanks for watching, and watch real soon for another episode of Conversations. Thanks.